Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. From Homestead Media, this is HHS In Depth.
All the kinds of things that we get shots for now, those things have come down from the legislature over time.
Coming up today on HHS In Depth, Superintendent Dr. Ginder gives us a much-needed update on the state of Southwest Allen County schools.
Plus, each day the landscape of the new building project changes. We'll give you the latest on how construction is going and when some of the new sections that have gone up will be opening. Those stories and more straight ahead. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Carly Flanagan.
And I'm Jenna Lane, and we'll get to those stories shortly, but we begin today with reporter Nada DeHook. And Nada, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
A few weeks ago, people traveled from home to visit family and friends over winter break. Carly and I were actually talking earlier about the recent surge in COVID cases, especially with the new Omicron variant.
That's right. And Nada, could you tell us a little bit about this variant and its effects that it has on our country?
Well, guys, in some states, the hospitalizations due to COVID have doubled, and a lot of those people were unvaccinated. While not much has been confirmed about the Omicron variant, symptoms include coughing, fatigue or tiredness, and congestion. Unlike other variants of COVID, the loss of smell or taste is rare. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky stated back in December that unvaccinated people are 17 times more likely to be hospitalized by COVID, as most of the vaccinated have less severe symptoms to the virus. Looking now at vaccine numbers, the most updated data from the CDC shows that 62% of the U.S. population has both doses of the vaccine, and 33% of those 62 received their booster shot. The FDA intends to expand this number, and their plan is to shorten the time needed before receiving a booster shot of the Pfizer vaccine to 5 months after the second dose. Additionally, the age limit is now being authorized for everyone 12 and older. Each state is handling the new surge differently. Here in Indiana, however, state legislators have recently drafted Senate Bill 114, which would prohibit businesses from requiring vaccines for any employees or customers. Businesses also could no longer discriminate against people with or without the vaccine in relation to wearing a mask, getting tested, or socially distancing. Indiana Representative Jim Tomes argued that the most important part of his legislation is ensuring people aren't losing their jobs because they refuse to get the COVID-19 vaccine. He added that the required weekly testing for those who choose not to get vaccinated has become a hindrance to some work environments. With the recent surge, however, this bill is being argued against by many businesses and senators, saying that the way to combat the rise is to further enforce mask and vaccine mandates. It is evident that 2022 will bring many changes in accordance to COVID-19, and we can only hope that things will get better from here.
Thanks, Nada, and this is a great reminder for all Spartans to stay safe this semester.
Well, as this year has progressed, one thing very noticeable is the look of the construction taking place as part of the new Homestead High School building project. Here with an update on the timeline and what other changes we should be seeing soon is HHS In Depth reporter Jacob Bashford.
Throughout the first semester, many changes have been seen with the new Homestead construction project, one of those being the cleat building, which is originally supposed to be completed right now.
The cleat building is coming along well. They are working on some of the interior finishes right now, and there's some outside paneling yet to be installed. But we do expect that to be complete at the end of February.
With the cleat building being pushed back only a couple months, it may bring some questions as to whether, if anything else, will be delayed.
The gymnasium part of it and the new student entry, which will be on the west side here, is still scheduled to be done this summer, so it'll be ready for the next school year, for the 2022-23 school year. The auditorium and that side of it, which is more on the southern edge of Phase 2, is probably going to be delayed about an additional semester of next year, so that may not be open until the December-January timeframe.
One of the biggest issues created by the construction is student parking. But not to worry, as more spots are on the way.
The 9th grade academy is going to be demolished as soon as the cleat building opens up. So as soon as we can move some of those programs over to the cleat building, then we can demolish this south wing. We can add some additional pavement here, and that'll make this the bus drop off and pickup area. So that'll take that away from the north side of the building where they They do the bus drop-offs now, and that will become either student and or staff parking. So we think starting next school year, we'll be able to add some additional spaces for student parking.
Bearing setbacks here and there, the full construction project on the new Homestead High School is supposed to be completed in the summer of 2024.
As you students certainly know, that it's kind of a moving target as we work through the process, and it's not comfortable all the time. You've got building going on, construction, and that's part of the difficulties of doing a construction project while you have students and staff on site, because students and staff are priority. We have to make sure we get you in the buildings, that you're safe in the buildings, and that you're able to carry on with your education and instruction.
Student safety is one of the biggest concerns of everyone involved in the project. Reporting for HHS In Depth from the new gym, I'm Jacob Bashford.
Thank you, Jacob. And speaking of construction, Dr. Ginder has been here since the beginning of the construction project as Homestead's principal, and he has now since moved on to become our superintendent.
And Carly, we always try to get an update with our district superintendent once we've completed the first semester. Nisha Lalleria joins us now in the studio with this information after getting a chance to sit down with Dr. Ginder.
That's right, Jenna, and it is already Dr. Ginder's second semester as SACS superintendent, and I was curious to see how he has transitioned to his new role. And though many of us here are familiar with him in an administrative role from his years as Homestead's principal, he now takes on new responsibilities as superintendent. When I sat down with him, he told me he has enjoyed the opportunity to meet with a wide variety of personalities in the district.
I think the things that I'm most proud of are being able to stay up with the learning curve. There's just so many things that I have to do that are new to me, but we have such an enormously talented staff, whether it's faculty teaching in the classroom or administrators throughout the district, that people are teaching me my job. So that's been exciting. And I've been really pleased with the progress we've made in the face of COVID and the things that cause our students to bounce back in and out of class. The vibe in the classroom and in the hallways of our schools is outstanding.
One of the major trends caused by the COVID-19 pandemic has been an increase of job openings, but at the same time, the number of applicants have decreased. At the start of the 2021-2022 school year, it became apparent that the number of bus drivers transporting students to and from school were lower than the numbers from the past.
To a certain degree, it's already an issue, and it is nationally. This is happening in our county. It's happening, obviously, in Southwest Allen County schools, but across the state and across the nation. But there's also a bill at the State House that would make it somewhat easier to get appropriate licensure, to take the test, etc. There's a lot of people that would like to do that kind of work, but the expectations are very, very high. It wouldn't change your ability to drive the bus. It just would affect some of the things you're supposed to know about the bus, engine and so forth, that maybe the average driver is never going to need to know.
For its second consecutive year, COVID-19 is still continuing to affect schools nationwide. For some states, this has caused higher ed schools to shut down in-person learning and shift to remote learning. The beginning of last year gave hope to many as vaccines progressively became available to our nation.
I think there's things that we need to be aware of that are impacting our numbers. Our numbers here at school in Southwest Allen County schools have been lower than most of the other schools and places in our county, probably because we have some of the highest vaccinated zip codes. Sometimes some of those are as high as 80, 85%, others are in the 70%, and that's probably kept a lot of our illness down. Our plan is to stick with the IDOH, Indiana Department of Health, CDC, and local guidance as closely as we can. In most situations, those things have really helped us. We had some high points during the fall where kids are getting sick or adults are getting sick. The biggest issue for us, though, has always been the quarantining. So we'll watch everything just like everybody else. But if we need to react and we need to go virtually for a period of time like we did last year or the year before, we can do that too.
Dr. Ginder has thoroughly enjoyed all the work that he has done since taking this position and is grateful for the support he has received from the SACS community. He is excited to continue on his work and meet all the people that make up Southwest Allen County schools.
All right, Nisha, thank you for the update.
As we're settling into the new semester, it seems like these frigid temperatures are finally here for good. Stock up on your coziest sweaters and jackets because the temps just keep on getting lower. Hang around a little bit more and I'll let you know what you can expect this week and ahead.
You're watching HHS In Depth with Carly Flanagan and Jenna Lane.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth. Seniors, please be sure to check out the updated HHS scholarships page, which you can find on the main Homestead website and within the Guidance Department tab. Dozens of scholarships have recently been added to this page, and many have deadlines coming up in the month of January.
Travelers to Italy in July of 2022. Please add this date to your calendars. There will be a meeting for your trip on Tuesday, January 25th at 6 p.m. in room 208. You and your parents must attend this meeting if you're going to the trip. If you cannot attend, please contact Mrs. B either in room 208 or at the email address shown here. Also, if you haven't submitted your passport information yet, that needs to be done immediately.
Attention Spartan athletes. Are you serious about improving your strength, explosive power, speed, and agility, whether in or out of season? Then when filling out your schedule, please select athletic development. This is a new course offering, and you won't want to miss out on the strength and speed development that you will gain in the brand new state-of-the-art strength training facility opening in the fall. General weight training class will still be available to take for all other traditional students once prerequisites have been met. If you have any questions, please email Coach Ankenbrook at the address shown below.
Any girl interested in participating on the 2022 Homestead track and field team should pick up handouts from Coach Wiss or Coach Jarrett. Any girl interested in running, throwing, or jumping must have a physical with signatures and other required forms for participation. All information must be filed through final forms, which you can find on the athletics page of the Homestead website.
And now here is a rundown of clubs meeting at Homestead over the next week. Get out to Young Progressives today from 2:45 to 3:30 in room 614, Mrs. Smith's room. All political viewpoints are welcome and snacks will be provided. FCCLA will be having a meeting on Tuesday in Miss Anderegg's room, room 102, to discuss state competition and events. Stop by if you plan on competing and to find out more about what events are offered. Go to the call-out meeting for Students for Choice next Wednesday, January 19th from 2:45 to 3:30 in room 611, Dr. Robinson's room. All viewpoints are welcome and they hope to see you there.
And now for some other clubs meeting over the next week. The Acoustic Music Club will meet next Tuesday in room 524 to practice their new set of songs. The Ski Club will be skiing at Timber Ridge on Saturday, January 22nd. Reservations and payment are due today for the next ski club trip. Contact Mrs. Brown for more information. And finally, please note, with no school on Monday due to Martin Luther King Jr. Day, there will be no audio aficionados next week. They will meet once again on January 24th in room 600B.
A local coffee shop that has become a staple for Homestead students to study at while enjoying a delicious beverage is Mocha Lounge. To learn more about their backstory, which includes a current Homestead student, here's HHS In Depth reporter Cora Shaw.
Whether it's to catch up with friends or do some homework, Mocha Lounge is a popular destination for Homestead students and the community of Fort Wayne. Mocha Lounge owner Brian Till purchased the building from a pre-existing business called Holy Grounds, and over the past 17 years, him and his wife Rachel have made the business their own.
So just trial and error. We try things, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's also, we try to keep up somewhat with the coffee community, but more so we try to do what our customers want. This is our third move, and so we decided to move over here, and instantly business grew, a little bit of a different atmosphere, a little bit more modern, same but different, if that makes sense.
Brian's daughter Brooklyn is a senior at Homestead and has grown up around the Mocha Lounge business.
This is my other family. These are the people I surround myself with and I choose to surround myself with. I love them and I love the customers. It's played a really big part in me growing up. I'm planning on going to college here so I can learn more about the business because I do want to end up taking over. And I just think it'd be really fun and I could keep it in the family.
Brian's dedication to the business is what has made Mocha Lounge so successful.
It takes time and perseverance, but you got to be willing to work hard. And you have to be 1,000% dedicated. Since we serve such a small community and a great community, I always want to be there for our customers. I don't like closing down. I don't like being out of things, and I put my heart and soul into it and try to treat people right, from our customers to our employees, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
If you want to support Bryan and Brooklyn, stop by and try a variety of their tasty drinks and treats. Reporting from Mocha Lounge for HHS In Depth, I'm Cora Shaw.
All right, thank you, Cora.
Well, last week's cold weather certainly stuck around for another week here in Northeast Indiana.
The question is, will things stay cool for the weekend?
Carly, we're about to find out. Michelle Obiama joins us now to let us know.
Thank you, Carly and Jenna. If you're going to tonight's game at home against Snyder, expect some bone-chilling temperatures as there'll be a high of 16 degrees. If you're going out to support your fellow Spartans, bundle up as that wind chill is no joke. Despite the wintry temps, the roads look like they'll be safe for driving, with no sign of ice in our midst. Looking towards the weekend, you can expect to see highs of 23 on Saturday and 28 on Sunday, reminding us that we're finally in the swing of winter. Saturday night, you might want to beg your dad to turn up that thermostat as the temps drop down to 12 degrees. Sunday night isn't as dramatic though, as you'll see a low of 21 degrees. Don't get too excited about the possibility of snow this weekend, as it appears to be staying partly cloudy all throughout Saturday and Sunday. Turn on your favorite movie and cozy up with your softest weighted blanket to get into the winter groove. Will these temps continue on to next week? I'll be back later with a check of the 7-day forecast when we return.
All right, thank you, Michelle.
Next in sports, it was another busy week for Homestead Athletics, including a doubleheader sweep last week for our basketball teams.
Anthony Gary is in next with a locker report to get us caught up on our winter sports teams. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Locker Report. I'm Anthony Gary. It's been an eventful week in Homestead Athletics, starting with last week when the boys and girls basketball teams traveled to the south side of Fort Wayne, Indiana to take on the Archers. Caleb Wood is in now with a recap.
Last Friday, another on-the-road SAC doubleheader, Homestead at Southside. The girls' team tipped off first. First possession, sophomore Emma Royce knocks one down from beyond the arc to get the Spartans on the board. Both teams back-to-back scoring in the beginning. However, Homestead would start to pull away. Patterson gets the job done under the basket. She was back in to play the Archers after missing the last game. Right here, Allie Stevens on the fast break with the layup. She put up 10 on the night. Homestead is up at the half. Once again, it's Patterson in the paint. The UConn signee dropped 25 points last Friday night, and Homestead would pull away with the victory 65-47. Next up, the boys team, and right away, very tight defense from the Southside Archers, but right here, Kyron Kalpuwiki puts up a shot and it's good. However, Southside keeps Homestead to just single digits in the first quarter. A little more action later on, Grant Leeper getting in on some action under the rim. He had 14 points on the night, and Homestead down by 3 at the half. Things would pick up later on, though, as Fletcher Lawyer finally finds a gap in the Archers' defense, and he's good from beyond the arc. Coming down to the wire in the fourth quarter, a one-point game. Fletcher dishes it out to Kalpuwiki from the right wing. He hits the three ball, and that would pretty much seal the deal for Southside. However, at the final buzzer, Grant Leeper slams it in. Homestead survives on the road, 59-53 the final.
After securing the win versus Southside last Friday, Purdue signee Fletcher Lawyer was at 979 points in his Homestead career. On Tuesday, the boys basketball team traveled to Black Hawk Christian, and it was there that Fletcher Lawyer hit his 1,000th point as a Homestead Spartan. And no better way for him to do it than with a three-pointer. The Spartans went on to win the game 69-62 in overtime. The next day, I got a chance to sit down with Fletcher Lawyer and talk to him about his milestone and the team's goals for the rest of the year.
To score 1,000 points with Homestead is pretty cool. Not something many people get to do, but I've had a lot of help from my teammates, my coaches, trust me shooting the ball and help me get those points and help the team win.
In 2020, Fletcher transferred from Clarkson High School in Michigan to Homestead between his sophomore
and junior seasons. It was an adjustment, but an adjustment he took easily as he was able to get to 1,000 points in just 1.5 seasons.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Obviously, moving down here, you got to adjust to a new play style and to new coaches and new players. But everyone's accepted me great. I've had a great experience here at Homestead and a great group of guys, coaches, parents, and players to help me get here.
Fletcher is someone known for feeding off the energy of the crowd, so the transfer to playing in historic Indiana high school basketball was pretty exciting.
Obviously, last year the environment was a little bit different with COVID. Not many people in the stands, but now that the stands get to be packed a little bit and get to have big home games and away games and fans yelling at you, it's a little bit different, but it's a cool experience to have.
After a disappointing end to the season last year, this year has been all about one goal: redemption all the way to the state title.
Yeah, the rest of the year we got our eyes set on that state championship, but we know each and every day, each and every conference game, we got to come out ready to play, and everyone's out to get us, so really coming out each and every day to win and get ready to win a state championship and keep going with the guys.
Congratulations to Fletcher on his huge milestone, and we wish the team good luck for the rest of the year. The girls basketball team played 2 more games since last Friday. On Saturday, they took care of Lawrence North, led by an Ayanna Patterson double-double and 15 points from Allie Stevens. Then on Tuesday, the girls basketball team beat Mishawaka Marion in a down-to-the-wire showcase, led by another Ayanna Patterson double-double. The gymnastics team hosted Snyder this past Tuesday and came away with an impressive 21-point victory. Homestead won by a final score of 106.175 to 87.575. Individual winners included Ashley Carr on the vault, Kendall Bond on the bars and the beam, and Gina Zarelli on the floor and in the all-around. Congratulations to all of the girls. And finally, both our swim and dive teams competed against Northridge and Carroll at the Summit Natatorium. The boys won with a score of 113, while the girls' 116 was good for second place. Individual winners for the boys included Brendan Waite in the 1-meter dive, the team of Joey Hammis, Owen Lindsay, Colin Waldron, and Drew Wayland in the 200-yard free relay, and Joey Hammis in the 50-yard free. For the girls, individual winners included Hayden Schertz in the 100-yard breaststroke, Ripley Merritt in the 100-yard fly, and Morgan Brown in the 200-yard individual medley. Congratulations to our boys and girls on the swim and dive team. Well, Spartans, today is the day. Later tonight, the girls and boys basketball teams play in the biggest doubleheader of the year at home versus Snyder. The girls game will feature 2 top 10 teams in the state and the only 2 SAC teams undefeated in the conference. The boys game will feature the number 1 and the number 3 teams in the SAC. Game 1 starts at 6 o'clock. For the Locker Report, I'm Anthony Gary. Be sure to follow our Instagram and Twitter listed down below for all Homestead sporting updates. During the break, you'll learn the reason why we don't have school on Monday and why we celebrate the late and great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Stay tuned to HHS In Depth, and Michelle will have a final check of the forecast when we come back.
Next Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The holiday was created to honor the life and legacy of Dr. King. The surprisingly young holiday has only been federally recognized for less than 40 years. Proposed 4 days after Dr. King's assassination, the holiday took 15 years to be federally recognized. In 1983, Ronald Reagan signed the King Holiday Bill into law. MLK Day is one of the only federal holidays designated as a National Day of Service. To celebrate, help to make your community more equitable for all by volunteering. You can donate your time to soup kitchens or donate items like food and clothing to shelters in need. Turn your day off into a day on. Give back to your community this MLK Day, Spartans.
Peeking at next week's forecast, the temps are not as erratic as last week's, with highs remaining in the low to high 20s with a peak of 31 degrees on Wednesday. The week seems like it will fluctuate between partly cloudy and cloudy, so keep that snow shovel back in the garage as you most likely won't need it this week. Winds have calmed down a bit, so you no longer have to worry about getting blown away like Dorothy in Kansas. This weather is the perfect time to enjoy a very brisk walk with your dog or a warm glass of hot chocolate indoors. Besides some sporadic snow showers here and there, it looks like the snow won't be sticking for a while. Carly, Jenna, back to you.
All right, thank you, Michelle, and thank you for watching today.
Good luck to all of our Homestead athletes and other performers in action this weekend.
Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you back here again next week.